Oh. Okay, so. All right, hear me? Hi, Tracy. Can you hear me, Tracy? Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Might have been. Try it again. Are you ready? Hi, Tracy. Tracy, can you hear me? Tracy. Oh, I can do it. Okay. So I think this is going to work. Hallelujah. Huh? Yeah, if we get through this today where we don't have any audio issues, it would be wonderful. If I think the audio will right.
Hey, Mary. Hello?
Hi, can you hear me? Well, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hi, Mary.
Hi, Heidi. Can't hear me? It just came through. Hi, Heidi. It's aggravating me big time. Why?
Okay, so you got me on as a panelist and you did ask me to unmute at one point. You might want to hit video will show you. It may not show me, but go to panelists. See if it gives you, okay, it offers you, okay, now hit attendees. It doesn't even offer video. I do not know why that is. Yeah, this is not so much a program.
Okay.
It's more knowing how to use Zoom, and I don't know if that's him or not. My view, attendee view. Well, you've got it following your view. You want them to be able to see the gallery. David Boyd, tap him, see what it says.
Well, do
More.
Yeah.
Promote to panelist. Yes, that should work. I was not promoted to a panelist.
Okay. So she needs a lot.
Yes, I'll go back and try that.
It's hitting.
Good morning, Mary. Can you hear me?
So did no, she's gonna have to log out and then come back in. Because
Can you hear me, Mary?
this they can hear me.
Can you hear me, Mary? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, so you can talk to me. Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Can you see me?
No.
It says here that that my video has been stopped.
Hmm.
That's what it says on mine too.
The
Says
host
the host
stopped
has
it.
disabled it.
My system.
Mm-mm.
Mary, every time I try to get in, it says a video, it says the host has stopped it.
Can you turn your cameras on?
I can't. It says the host has stopped it.
The host has stopped it.
I can't see anyone except you.
Okay, and I can't get your cameras on.
It's the same thing with me. I can see only you and it says the host has disabled the video.
Same here.
Oh, well, sorry, folks. I didn't do anything intentionally. We're trying to figure it out.
It's all good, all good.
Oh, here it is, right here, right here.
Okay,
Yes.
I think we're
Now you
good
should be able to
now.
do it. That's another lesson learned. Yay.
There we go.
Good job, good job.
Success. Okay.
Okay, well, it took a while.
How does it allow them to limit them?
Let's
Okay,
see.
I'll listen.
I'm letting in a few more folks. Okay. Dave, can you hear? David?
I don't see Dave on the screen.
Yeah, I don't either.
I see his block. He doesn't have his video on, but
I had some trouble with my work access to it, so I joined from a different device. And on this one, I do see him.
Oh, you can see him?
On the list of participants, he's in
Right.
there.
Yes.
Okay, I went somewhere. I'm looking.
Gail, I see Gail as well. Her camera's not on, but she's,
Right.
I'm here. I'm here. I'll turn the camera on in a moment.
there's
Okay.
Gail.
Hi,
Gail,
Gail.
Hello,
We're trying to
everybody.
demonstrate that we really need the new blood of someone younger with the technology expertise that we're craving.
There she is.
There
Hi.
you go.
Oh, and now I'm gonna turn. This is me.
So Heidi, you have two devices on because
Yeah.
you're echoing.
Yeah, I'm leaving. I closed absolutely everything on my work computer, and that's when it came through. And now it won't let me start video, but I'm here, so start the meeting.
Dave?
I'm here.
Okay.
We want to go ahead and start the meeting.
I think so. Dave?
We'd like to call the Civil Service Commission for the Lakewood Police Department to order. It's January 6th and it's 9:34. Members present is Commissioner Besso, Commissioner Roden, Examiner McDougall,
Andrea? Dave, I can't hear you.
There you go.
there he is. Mary, do we have any people else?
Well, I don't know, Dave. You faded out. I didn't hear a lot of what you said. I don't know if anyone else had that problem.
He had stopped after he said, Mary.
Okay, so we
I
have,
see, I see that Chief Sorrow is in the meeting. Lieutenant
Yes.
Sorrow, is there anyone else?
Heidi Wachter,
Okay,
Chris Lawler, Gail Selden, all three commissioners.
Then I guess we have a full meeting that can proceed to the first order of business. And that is
Okay.
the election of the new chair. Commissioner Roden, do I hear a nomination?
Yes, I have a nomination. I nominate Commissioner Bisson for the chairmanship. I know that she's looking forward to it.
I second that motion. Do I hear
Oh,
any
you
discussion?
guys. Yeah, you guys are good. You're very good. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Hearing none. All in favor of the nomination of Commissioner Bisson, say aye.
I,
Bye.
Thank you. It has been approved and it is your meeting.
Well, thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. And Dave, thanks for a great job there. It looks like next that we have on our list is the approval of minutes from December 2nd, 2021.
Oh, Eileen, do you want to move back just for a minute? We have
Sure.
a new commissioner effective on the 8th. So David's
yeah.
leaving us after how many years, Dave? 18?
18.
18 years. And Gail Selden will be a new commissioner.
Oh, good. Congratulations. Do we
Is
need
she
to make
online?
a,
Congratulations. Gail.
Yes, she
I'm
is.
here. I'm here. Yes. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
so is this Dave's last meeting?
It is.
Oh, boy, Dave. Okay. Gail, is there anything that you would like to say or anything like that? I hate to put you on the spot, but if you do.
Really happy to serve.
It's been a great time. I've enjoyed it. And, you know, it's great being a part of a great department and a great police department. That's the main issue. So we've only had, I think, 2 other commissioners in all that 18 years. I think Bonnie Boyle and Brian Thomas. Maybe I missed one, but it sees how everyone has been sticking together, and I really appreciate working with you guys. So thank you. And
Thanks, Dave.
have a great future.
Thanks, Dave.
Okay. Gail, is there anything that you would like to say as a new commissioner?
I just like to say hello. Nice to meet you all, and I'm happy to serve. Happy to be here to serve.
Great. Okay. We can move on now to approval of minutes from December 2nd, 2021. Any
I make a
discussion?
motion that the minutes be approved.
Second,
Okay. Any discussion on that? Anything in there that needs to? Okay, not hearing any. Go ahead and approval of minutes. Everybody approve, say aye.
Aye.
I,
Aye. Okay. Meeting minutes have been approved. Next, we have new business. Cancellation of eligibility.
Yes, so I forwarded the disqualification notes for 3 entry-level police officer candidates.
Okay. Is there a motion on the cancellation of eligibility? If I've got this right.
I think you do. So we have Lawrence Martin, Ashley Manero, and Stephen Wilson.
I sent a message regarding the 2 of the persons to be removed Monero and Wilson.
Yeah,
And I did not get a response back yet. And under the circumstances, I don't feel that I can vote for those two people at this point.
okay, David, Heidi just ran back. She was trying to listen over here, but it's not working out for her. So she's going back to get on her device
Okay.
and hopefully she'll have a comment or two.
I had a question, probably the same thing that Dave did, but I have a question on that as well.
Right.
Well, I did too. Particularly, it's the details are, there aren't many details on
Right. We can't
those
get into
although for Wilson, since there appeared to be some disassembly with regards to the polygraph, I
We
was
can't-
more.
Dennis,
sorry.
we can't get into detailed discussion
Okay.
since we're live unless we break into an executive session. So let's wait for
Okay.
Heidi to join in.
All right.
Can we do anything else while we're waiting, or we're just going to wait for that one?
Well, I think we should move on.
Okay. And that would be, so that the next one would be the certification of lateral police officer eligibility list.
Yeah, two names have been added to the list. Tony Brown and Keanu Hamilton. And Greg Philippa, we've extended him for 12 months. He was ready to expire, I think, in a day, tomorrow.
Okay.
Hey, Mary, did Jet and Granillo, were they added previously, or don't they need to be added as well?
They should be on the list.
Are they on the last one?
No, they're not on the last one.
Because they should be, they both passed.
Oh, they are on there. I'm sorry. Yes. So we
Okay.
added also Daniel Granillo and Jethra Hone.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot about that because we did those interviews last month.
So 4 were added and then 1 extension.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
What happened to the other people on the list that was approved last month?
Well, one withdrew and we, let's see I just did a conditional offer this morning to Raquel Brunson. Let's see, we hired Kay Bree Ames. We hired Connor Cockle.
Okay.
And Alex Ignatov is the one who withdrew.
Okay.
We hired Kyle Zimmerman off of it too.
What was that?
Oh, right. He was number 2.
Kyle Zimmerman was hired off of that list.
Okay.
Thank you.
And Freestad, he also withdrew. If you didn't already,
Freestad withdrew. Okay.
voluntarily withdrew.
So how many, Chris, do you have in the training phase right now?
Well, it depends on what you mean, entries and lateral or separately, because we have
Just okay.
Because I think Sarah
lateral.
Cartwright Jeremy can sign off, but I think Cartwright is still, she was a lateral, she's finishing PTO. Cole Craner Quinn Rawson is at the academy entry level. We just had Cole Craner entry level go to the academy this week, and then we have 8 more going through an in-house academy that will go to the academy in March. Those are entry level. And then Mary mentioned all the laterals that were potentially 4 off of this list that will start, 3 on the 10th, and Raquel just got her conditional.
Okay. Okay, any further discussion on the lateral eligibility list? The cancellation of lateral officer, police officer eligibility, certification of lateral police officer eligibility list, right? Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Madam Chair, I was out for a minute or two, and I just wanted to make sure, because I received a question from the board. Have you gotten to the disqualification question yet?
We passed that over until you got back.
Okay, thank you. I'm here for the duration now. I went to a third device.
Third time's a charm. Okay, so back to certification of lateral police officer eligibility list. Do I hear a motion for that?
I
For
move
approval?
that the lateral police officer eligibility list dated January 6, 2022 be approved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Discussion?
Any discussion? Sorry, Dave.
No.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 Certification passes, and now we can go back to the cancellation of eligibility. So there was a question, Heidi, that I think Dave had, and both Dennis and I are chiming in on that, but I just want to hear what you have to say.
Correct. I have passed some of my answer on to your staff, which is Ms. Pandrea in this role. And in a city of our size, sometimes we wear a number of different hats. And so I've explained to the police department that the advice I'm giving on this is advice to the board, and to the degree that they want their own separate advice, they can do that. I don't know that they're pursuing that, but it's because sometimes people can have different points of view. The view of, in my role as your attorney, is that the Civil Service Board has the authority to approve or deny the recommendations coming from the police department for these lists. Ultimately, civil service boards were created for the purpose of having that extra layer of sort of objectivity, so that there wasn't cronyism. This was, from way back when these boards were created. And because of that, you do have the authority to determine whether or not you've received adequate information on a particular recommendation. So here you have the recommendation for disqualification on 3 people. Now, balanced against that is the fact that sometimes the recommendation is based on something that, if put in the public arena, could be potentially embarrassing or harmful to a person's rights to privacy. I don't know what some examples of that would be, but it could be something that just doesn't really need to be played out in the public. To that degree, you have the ability as a board to decide, well, we didn't get adequate information for disqualification, therefore we're not going to disqualify. Or you can decide that you want to hear more about it in an executive session so that you can consider the details without exposing them to public consideration. You can ask for more information. You can say, bring it back in a month, but we want more. The real question is up to the board. Like I said, one option is, if you truly don't feel like you have sufficient information, one option is to say this is not sufficient to disqualify an applicant, and therefore we're not going to disqualify. But you also may find ways to ask for more information. If you were to directly just say, I want to hear the information here now in this meeting, one of the potential risks, and it's not always a hardcore legal risk, it's more a question of what kind of decorum you want in your meetings, you could end up having your officers who are aware of the disqualifying information putting it right out there on YouTube for anyone to see. And sometimes that's potentially embarrassing beyond what is necessary to your process. I'd be happy to answer questions if this narrows your focus of what your original question was, or if I haven't actually answered your question at all, I'd be happy to take another stab at it. I think
Mary or Heidi, go ahead. I didn't want to cut you off. If you
Well,
had
I was
something
just going to say the bottom line is it really is the board's authority. And I think what happens sometimes on these boards is things are always so agreeable that we don't always remember exactly where the buck stops. But the buck does stop with the Civil Service Board in terms of who gets on those lists.
Okay. Well, for one, I reviewed all three and one of them is clear to me that it would, I don't have any problem in terms of disqualification. The other two, I just don't feel that there's enough information at this point for me to approve. And so that's where my
Well,
issue is.
Well, so with the one that you feel comfortable with, you could make the motion to approve that as a disqualification. And if your one other fellow board member agrees with you, then you've got a disqualified person. With the remaining two, your options are you can ask questions in the open session. You can call an executive session and require the information that you want to consider the qualifications of people in the executive session. You can tell the department that you need more and you want it to come back at the next month, but that again is potentially in the public arena. One of the discussions that we're having with the police department is how much of what they produce is subject to public disclosure as a document. So one option for you is to go into executive session and ask those questions. On the other hand, if you just feel like it's inadequate, you can make the recommendation to your fellow board members that it's not enough for disqualification. And if they agree with you, then you don't, or not make a motion at all. If there's no motion made on them, then the disqualification fails. That is another option.
I have a question.
For me, in my experience, I would just say it looks like it's a different style between two background investigators, one giving more information than the other. But I don't know if that's accurate or not, but that's just where I'm coming from. Dennis, go ahead.
Is there another option? And that, what I mean is for those candidates for which the board may feel there's not enough information, can additional information be provided on the candidate disqualification notes? Can that be updated or more information given?
Yeah, that's a two-part question. For my part, it is within the authority of the board to ask whether or not this could be supplemented. And it can either be supplemented here now today, it could be supplemented in an executive session. You could ask for it to come back next month with supplementation. Right now they're on a list. And so, but the second part of the question really goes to the police department to say, just logistically and practically, do they have something more that they would add? And so I would defer to either Lieutenant Lawler or Chief Zorro on that question.
Good point. Thank you.
Madam Chair, may I surface this in writing, and I guess my question, if it's a legal question, if we went into executive session, and this is for Lieutenant Lawler, if we went into executive session, is there more information that could be provided regarding the two people that we have concerns about?
Absolutely. We have the full background investigation that we could refer to at any point. So if we went into executive and you had questions, we have the knowledge from the report, or we could refer to it exactly in its content.
Okay, that was my question. That was my concern, because there's no sense in going into an executive session if we couldn't get more information. If we can get more information, then maybe an executive session is what we need so we can put this to bed today and rather not hold it for another month.
Would agree.
Chief, did you want to say something? I keep seeing you raising your hand.
Yeah, if it's okay, real quick, and it's more just a point of clarification for our new commissioner. Being our first meeting, we're talking a lot about the differences between open public meetings and executive sessions that might be new to her. And just to make a point of clarification that might help with her understanding of this, these are all open public meetings. It might feel like it's a private Zoom meeting, but anything that's said or presented here is open to the public. And that's the same case if we met in person. So that's why there's the discussion about there might be something in the background that is privacy protected that we wouldn't want to go out to the public or shouldn't put out to the public. So I just wanted to make that clarification because I wasn't sure how much Gail was really caught up on those finer points of public meetings.
Well said. Okay, so our next step then would be to go into, if it's an agreement for a executive session. How that, go ahead, Heidi.
I'm going to propose language that you may choose to adopt or not adopt. Under the Open Public Meetings Act, the basis for an executive session in this instance is to consider qualifications of an applicant for public employment pursuant to RCW 4230-110 sub 1 sub G. And so because this is considering potential disqualification during an application process, you would be considering qualifications of an applicant for public employment in the executive session. You also have to announce how long you think the executive session is going to take and whether or not you will be taking action when it's over. So if we're going in for 5 or 10 minutes, indicate that. And then just, I think at the end, you might take action if you plan on having any kind of a vote. Although, as I indicated, if you intend to not disqualify, the proper procedural action would be not to make a motion at all, then they stay on the list.
Well, the question I have is, Heidi, and
This is why people love lawyers. Come on.
and we'll tell the background investigators to give us a more of a condensed version of the disqualification notes that they have inside the file. So that should help moving forward. But if the board chooses to disqualify, can we resubmit next month if we don't do executive session?
The way that it works, and as I said, this isn't something that the board runs into with great frequency, but ultimately the buck stops with the board. They are expected to disqualify when, in their opinion, they feel that the person should be disqualified, and that's based on the information provided. So if they feel next month that they have adequate information to disqualify, they can do that next month. During the pendency of that, though, these individuals remain on the list.
They're inactive, though.
I am not aware of whether they're active or inactive, but yeah, they're wherever they stay. They stay wherever they're currently placed.
Yeah,
active, inactive. Yeah, the ball doesn't move if they have not been disqualified.
We have the files if you guys choose to do it today, just FYI.
Okay. I think that we probably, if you've got the files there, Chris, I think we can probably get through this today. I'm just not quite sure how long a time frame that would be.
I think it'd be relatively quick, but that's up to the board to decide.
Okay. So do we need to make a motion that we go into executive session?
Yes, you would make the motion, and it would be to consider the qualifications of an applicant for public employment. You would indicate the length of that executive session, anticipate the length. You can always extend it if you need to, and then whether or not you anticipate that action might be taken at the conclusion.
Ooh.
I'd make a
Okay.
recommendation that we go into an executive session for 10 minutes with the idea that at conclusion of the session that we will be making a decision.
And then we're going to have to close out this meeting and open up another Zoom meeting, right? And then we're going to have to go back on live. So this could be quite a
I was going to
process.
throw out if, because that is, I've seen it with the council, it is kind of a process to create an executive meeting through Zoom. We can wait until next month's Civil Service Commission, and in the meantime, get some of this logistically ironed out as far as how to do an executive session. Because we do need to create a whole new Zoom meeting to go to that is not open to the public. So if Mary's not comfortable or doesn't think we can do it in a timely manner, there is certainly no rush in getting this addressed today. It can wait until next month.
I'll withdraw my motion.
I would recommend that we wait until next month. So as the chief said, we can get this smoothed out a little so the process will be smoother for next time.
Okay, and Chief, is your expectation then that we would hold an executive session next month, or you would submit an amended memo of disqualification?
Well, I proposed that because seemed like it was my understanding that the commission wants an executive session. So that's how I would move forward, is that we'll
Oh.
present the information in the executive session next month.
Okay.
From my perspective, I don't think, and I'm not going to be here, I don't think an executive session is necessary if there's an addendum to what has been submitted already.
Yeah,
Okay,
the bottom line
I
is
agree.
that they're asking for more information. They're not necessarily requiring how it's presented.
Well, here's what I would ask then, that we do the executive session in the interest of privacy of the applicants. And then during that executive session, you will get an idea of what kind of information we're concerned about disclosing. And then moving forward, we can, we can decide whether it's something you want in writing or to continue with the executive sessions.
Oh, okay, okay. That works. Now, do we need a motion on what we just are deciding on?
What you
Okay.
need a motion on is the one that you think probably is okay. Because I don't remember hearing that. If I'm wrong, correct me. But I think if there is one that you're comfortable with and you feel is appropriate for disqualification, then a motion should be made on that one.
I
Okay.
make a motion that the candidate Martin Lawrence disqualification be approved.
Second,
Lawrence, is Lawrence Martin instead of
Yes.
Martin
Lawrence
Lawrence?
Martin.
Lawrence
Yes,
Martin.
Lawrence Martin.
Okay, so the motion has been placed and seconded. Any further discussion on Lawrence Martin? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. That motion is passed and Lawrence Martin is off the eligibility list. Okay, and then the other two we will take care of next month. Any further new business?
No.
Okay, how about the chief examiner's report?
Okay, so our entry police officer job posting closed on the 31st. We've got 77 applicants we expect to test on the 15th. And let's see, we're doing a lieutenant's assessment center is next week on the 12th. And I mentioned earlier, I've extended a conditional offer of employment to Raquel Brunson. She was previously with Gig Harbor Police Department. She's also been a firefighter. And we've had one retirement or resignation since our last meeting. That's Officer Dennis Harvey. So we have, let's see, 6 new hires. We had Officer Max Mahaffey, Julia Wabinga, Jared Beecham. Those are entry-level officers who have started. And next Monday, we have lateral level officers, Connor Cockle, Kay Bree Ames, and Kyle Zimmerman.
There was Dustin Kirkham in there too, Mary.
Oh, I forgot Dustin. I probably mentioned him at our last meeting, maybe.
Wow. So 71 apps, that's more than you've had for a while, right?
77 is the head count right now. We actually had about 85 or so, but people are falling out little by little. And it's about the same as we had last time.
Okay, okay.
So we'll see how many we have that actually come to test.
Okay.
So how many vacancies did you say, Mary, that we still have?
As of this morning, I don't have requisitions for any vacancies. I know that isn't the case at the police department. So they can address that.
I'd be happy to. So we're, and Eileen, you'll especially appreciate this, but we have 8 entry-level folks that are all going to be in the same academy class starting in March. So they don't count, unfortunately. We pay them, but they don't count until probably later in the fall. So because of that, those are, and we also have 2 others that are in the academy just before them. So that's going to be a total of 9 in the academy, 1 just graduating, but they don't count towards staffing. So that's 10 people that are on the books, but not counting towards staffing. And we're working with the city manager on overhiring and filling some positions to maintain staffing until we get those folks out of the academy. The other thing is we anticipate we have 2, at least 2 retirements that we know are going to happen this year and this summer. So we want to hire in anticipation of those as well. We just don't have the technically have the openings on the books yet. We're working with the city manager on that, but I would like to hire, between 5 and 10 more, ideally, in order to get us up to a decent staffing level that anticipates retirements, not just this year, but in the next couple of years.
Mike, when the individuals are attending the academy, they're on the rolls, aren't they? Aren't they being paid?
Yes, they are. And that's one of the, I think the misconceptions you have when you talk about being fully staffed. We might have people, in every budgeted position, but they don't count towards operational staffing because they're in training. So that's, that is definitely one of the difficulties in trying to, manage staffing. And when we have as many people leave in a short amount of time as we did last year, that's tough to overcome. And that's why overhiring is one way that I want to address that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, any other discussion?
Yes.
Anything else, Mary? Yeah.
Yeah, I had a comment. Welcome to the board, Gail. And Dave, it's been a pleasure working with you. You've been very insightful, and I've really enjoyed being on the board with you, and the best of luck to you.
Thank you. I was saying, gosh, when they want you off the board, they just blank you out. You can't even see you anymore. Hey, I've enjoyed it. It's been great working with you guys.
You too, Dave. You too.
And so everybody knows on January, at the council meeting on January 18th, it's a Tuesday. We're doing a few things. We're swearing in a bunch of new folks. So kind of the fruits of your labor, if you want to tune in for that or come for that, because it's a hybrid meeting, so they will be in person. I'm also going to recognize David's contribution to the Civil Service Commission and the department. Even if I have to go and drag him from his house and bring him and make him accept it. We're going to be doing that on the 18th. So you're certainly welcome to attend and join in that.
What time is that, Mike?
7 o'clock, and that'll all be right up towards the front of the agenda. So
yeah, and that's an important point, because anyone we put at the end of the agenda, there's no telling how many actually survive to the end. So
if you are ever put at the end of a council meeting agenda, you are being punished for something. Just know that.
Amen. Okay. Nothing else. I think we're ready to adjourn, if that's okay with everybody. Time now is 10:08 a.m. And is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second. Okay. So it is done, and we are done. So thank you very much, everybody. This was a big help.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.